Hello everyone and welcome to Medford Anywhere Learning TV. We're glad you're tuned in. We want to give a shout out to our friends at Southern Oregon PBS, KTVL, KDRV, and the Dove Network. Thank you for hosting us on your station. In the Medford School District, we have one shared vision, and that we believe that all are learning, and learning is for all. And what better place to do that than right here on Medford Anywhere Learning TV.
Good afternoon. I'm Jamie Leach. I'm an English teacher at North Medford High School. And after a long day of anywhere learning, I like to go for a walk in the woods and find my rocking chair and read some poetry. So I need to get comfortable before we get started, because you must be comfortable when you're reading poetry. So we have to get out of our school clothes and into something much more comfortable. Oh, when you get home, don't you like to put on your sweatpants and take off your boots and put on your slippers? I sure do. Oh, much better. Let's get rid of these boots. I got my nice comfy socks on. And look, right here next to my rocking chair in the middle of the woods are my slippers. Now I'm ready. Oh, and here are my poetry books. I have some really special students this year. I teach seniors at North, and we wrote some poems before they graduated. And I wanted to share a couple of their poems and some other good poems that I happen to have at my house. So here we go. This first one is by a friend of mine named Calvin Cox. As I carry my thoughts through these quarantine hours, I walk to my kitchen and smell onions being chopped. They burn my eyes, so I walk away into a room where Netflix is being played. A show I have never seen, one that is a little odd. The Tiger King plays, and I stay and watch. How my senior year has been robbed by this COVID-19. Something that was a joke that turned so surreal. Hopefully one day soon we'll play that cornhole, but for now, let's enjoy the inside of our home. I know a lot of you are probably getting tired of the inside of your home right about now, but I really like Calvin's poem because it makes me think about how I move around in my home from my kitchen to my living room, and I get caught up into a TV show, but I'm really thinking about things that I like to do with my friends, like play cornhole, and hopefully someday soon we'll get to do that again. Here's another one. This one is by my friend Ashlynn Eisenhower, and she is thinking about imagery and sensory language. The earth is quiet. I'm held captive. There's nowhere to go. I pray for all this to end. Time is passing by the way we don't want it to. I'm losing my sanity. Time is wasting away. Families are separated. Months go by. Our lives are being controlled. We are under command. Time is something you shouldn't mess with. I think Ashlynn was thinking about a poem that I read to my class about time when she wrote that poem. This poem is called Lengths of Time. It's by Phyllis McGinley. It's from this book called Sing a Song of Popcorn, which is a fun collection of poems. It goes like this. Time is peculiar and hardly exact. Though minutes are minutes, you'll find for a fact, as the older you get and the bigger you grow, that time can hurry like this, or plod, plod, slow. Waiting for your dinner when you're hungry? Down with the sniffles in your bed? Notice how an hour crawls along, like a snail with his house upon his head. But while you are starting a game in the park, it's morning, it's noon, and suddenly it's dark, and hours like seconds rush blurringly by, whoosh, like a plane in the sky. Oh, think about the things that you really enjoy doing and how fast time goes when you're enjoying those things. And think about the things that you might not enjoy doing and how slow time goes. That's really what Ashlynn's talking about in this poem. How quiet it is and how she feels kind of like a captive in her own home. And time is passing in a way that we don't really want it to. We feel like we're missing out on things. She feels almost like she's losing her sanity because she's been home for so many days. The months are going by and it feels like we're under a command. Hopefully soon, Ashlynn and all the rest of us will get to go outside and get to hang out with our friends. But until then, I'll read you some more poems. These next poems are from a book that I gave my sons and I gave to my dad for Christmas one year. It's called Good Poems by Garrison Keillor. Inside of this book, it tells that we gave it to him for Christmas in 2003, and it says, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." He really loved poetry, and he taped this inside the cover. Poetry's purpose is to reach other people and touch their hearts. Hopefully, some of these poems will reach you, touch your heart, touch your mind, and make you think about things just a little bit differently. Let's see what's in this poetry book. Dilemma by David Budbull. I want to be famous so I can be humble about being famous. What good is my humility when I'm stuck in this obscurity? I want to be famous too. But right now, we feel like we're stuck in obscurity, stuck in our homes in obscurity. I hope someday some of you are famous and that I can say, I remember when you were in my class or I saw you walking across campus. That'd be pretty fun. The Changed Man by Robert Phillips. If you were to hear me imitating Pavarotti in the shower every morning, you would know how much you have changed my life. If you were to see me stride across the park, waving to strangers, then you would know I am a changed man, like Scrooge, awakened from his bad dreams, feeling feather light, angel happy, laughing, the father of a long line of bright laughs. It is still not too late to change my life. It is changed, me who felt shortchanged. Because of you, I no longer hate my body. Because of you, I buy new clothes. Because of you, I'm a warrior of joy. Because of you and me. Drop by this Saturday morning and discover me fiercely pulling weeds, gladly dedicated as a born-again gardener. Drop by on Sunday and I'll turtle wax your sky blue sports car, no sweat. I'll greet enemies with a handshake, forgive debtors with a papal largesse. It's all because of you and me. I've become one changed man. Okay, so I'm not a man, but I am a changed person because of the different people that I've known, because of my seniors that I really miss a lot, being home every day, only seeing them in Zoom meetings and when they message me in Google Classroom. And I really wish that they could come and give me a handshake because they have changed my life. with their energy and their passion for learning and thinking and doing lots of things differently. I really miss you guys. Before I get too sentimental, let's read another poem. This is Just to Say by William Carlos Williams. I've eaten the plums that were in the icebox and which you were probably saving for breakfast. Forgive me, they were delicious, so sweet and so cold. This is just to say, if you could say something to somebody right now, what would you say? I probably wouldn't tell them about the plums I ate in the icebox, but I wonder what I would say. I'd probably say what I was just saying, that I miss my seniors, but I already said that. What else would I say? I'll have to think about that. But speaking of food, here's another one. The Orange by Wendy Cope. At lunchtime, I bought a huge orange. The size of it made us all laugh. I peeled it and shared it with Robert and Dave. They got quarters and I got a half. And that orange, it made me so happy, as ordinary things often do, just lately. The shopping, the walk in the park, this is peace and contentment. It's new. The rest of the day was quite easy. I did all the jobs on my list and enjoyed them and had some time over. I love you. I'm glad I exist. This is a good time to think about simple things like oranges and friends and sharing things with friends and how happy you can be over simple things like an orange, ordinary things like shopping and walking in the park and being at peace and content. It's kind of hard to be at peace and content when you feel stuck in your house or like the only place you can go is to the grocery store or to work. But those are things we should appreciate. And pretty soon we'll get to go for a walk in a park, a lot like this one, and we won't have to go by ourselves. We'll get to go with each other. And that is a day to look forward to. But if you think about being at peace and content, then the rest of the day is really quite easy. And you'll find it's easy to do all the jobs on your list. And then you feel good about yourself too. What kind of jobs are you doing to keep busy? And what kinds of things make you feel peaceful and content? For me, I've been doing a lot of sewing and a lot of knitting and not as much reading as I usually do. My students are surprised about that, but I am enjoying reading poetry every day. And I never thought I'd say that. There was a rhyme. Did you catch it? This is another one that I think is really good for this time. It's called To Be of Use by Marge Piercy. The people I love best jump into work head first, without dallying in the shallows, and swim off with sure strokes almost out of sight. They seem to become natives of that element, the black, sleek heads of seals bouncing like half-submerged balls. I love people who harness themselves, an ox to a heavy cart, who pull like water buffalo with massive patience, who strain in the mud and the muck to move things forward, who do what has to be done again and again. I want to be with people who submerge in the task, who go into the fields to harvest and work in a row and pass the bags along, who are not parlor generals and field deserters, but who move in a common rhythm when the food must come in or the fire be put out. The work of the world is common as mud, botched. It smears the hands, crumbles to dust. But the thing worth doing well has a shape that satisfies, clean and evident. Greek amphoras for wine or oil, Hopi vases that held corn are put in museums, but you know they were made to be used. The pitcher cries for water to carry, and a person for work that is real. Oh, those are the people that I like the best too. I love it when my students come in and they're excited about something that we're doing in class, even if it's the simplest thing. Those are the people that I love the best, who jump into work head first without dallying in the shallows. They jump in the deep end and they swim offshore with strong strokes. They're brave and courageous and they take a chance. I love that. I love people who harness themselves like an ox to a heavy cart. They're not afraid to do things that are hard. Sometimes things we don't like to do are hard, but if you just jump in and try, you'll find it's a lot easier in the end. I like the words that they used here as well, and they pull things like a water buffalo with massive patience. Patience is something that we need for the hard tasks that require muscle, and for the hard tasks that require our brain, and for the hard tasks that require a lot of patience, like staying at home and doing your schoolwork and going to work, things that we might not really want to do, but things that we must do. I want to be with people who submerge themselves in the task. That's for sure. I want to be with students, not watching them in a Zoom meeting, but with them in my classroom. That's what I really want. What do you really want? What kind of people do you like to be around? Think about that. Maybe talk about that with someone in your house tonight. Who do you like to be around? What kind of people do you like? This poem is called Sweater Weather. We're almost out of sweater weather. Pretty soon it'll be summer. But I really like this poem. It's called Sweater Weather, A Love Song to Language by Sharon Bryan. Never better, mad as a hatter, right as rain, might and main, hanky-panky, hot toddy, hoity-toity, cold shoulder, bowled over, rolling in clover, low blow, no soap, hope against hope, pay the piper, liar, liar, pants on fire, high and dry, shoe fly pie, fiddle faddle, fit as a fiddle, sultan of Swat, muskrat ramble, fat and sassy, flim flam, happy as a clam, cat's pajamas, bee's knees, peas in a pod, pleased as punch, pretty as a picture, nothing much. Lift the latch, double dutch, helter skelter, hurdy-gurdy, early bird, feathered friend, dumb cluck, buck up, shilly-shally, willy-nilly, roly-poly, holy-moly, loose lips sink ships, spitting image, nip in the air, hale and hearty, part and parcel, upsy-daisy, lazy days, maybe baby, up to snuff, flibbergibbet, honky-tonk, spick and span, handyman, cool as a cucumber, blue moon, high as a kite, night and noon. Love me or leave me, seventh heaven, up and about, over and out. Don't you just love that poem? There's so many great phrases. I bet some of them are things you say, and I bet some of them are things maybe your parents say, or maybe your grandparents, or maybe that funny aunt or uncle, or someone who lives far away. I have a friend who says, "What the higgity heck?" I love that. And I wish that was something that I would say. Everybody has funny phrases that are really the things that they say all the time. Sometimes they're not even aware of the things that they say. I wonder what those phrases are for you. I wonder what those phrases are for me. I know some things that I say all the time are things that come from books. One of my favorite sayings is from the On the Banks of Plum Creek by Laura Ingalls Wilder, when Pa Ingalls tells them, "What must be done is best done cheerfully." That's something I say all the time. And another thing I say all the time is that we must show up and work hard and do our best and never give up. I try to do that every day. I hope you try to do that too. Listen to yourself. Think about things you say all the time. Think about things that you say without thinking. Pay attention to the words that you're saying and what they mean and how fun they sound. Like this poem. There are some really fun ones in here. What are some fun things you say? Let's find some other fun words. Oh, now we're back to something more serious. This poem is called Lost by David Wagner. Stand still. The trees ahead and the bushes beside you are not lost. Wherever you are is called here, and you must treat it as a powerful stranger, must ask permission to know it and be known. The forest breathes. Listen, it answers. I have made this place around you. If you leave it, you may come back again, saying, here. No two trees are the same to a raven. No two branches are the same to wren. If what a tree or a bush does is lost on you, you are surely lost. Stand still. The forest knows where you are. You must let it find you. I think it's kind of great that I'm in a forest reading poems to you. I'm right here in a forest. Think about where you are, right here. Wherever you are, that's where you're at. And you're not lost if you're right there. Another one that has birds, Wild Geese by Mary Oliver. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, announcing your place in the family of things. I think I hear my son calling me. He wants me to come home and make dinner. It sure was fun to read poetry with you tonight, or whenever it is you're listening to me. I better put away my poetry books and get my shoes on and go make dinner for my son. I hope that you think about words and think about poetry. I hope you find a good book to read, and I hope I see you again soon. Maybe in the real woods, on a real hike, on a real day. Enjoy today. Get my boots back on, because I've got a little bit of a hike. Get my jacket back on. Get out of my poetry reading clothes. Get back into my school teaching clothes. Enjoy today.
Thanks for tuning in to Medford Anywhere Learning TV. Medford School District is a place where all are learning, and learning is for all.
My name is Stella, and I'm in 5th grade.
Tell me about the school board. What do you know about a school board and what a school board does?
I think it makes like big decisions for the school, and do you decide field trips?
It is the people that decide like stuff about the school, like they're the people that decide all the school rules and stuff like that.
What do you think about that? I mean, it sounds kind of like a big job.
Yeah, it is a pretty big job. I've seen like what they do, and it's pretty cool.
They volunteer, so they don't really get paid. It's kind of shocking that they don't get paid, but like it's good that they're volunteering, you know.
They do so much for us, and like for the students, I guess.
I think that that's really nice of them, especially since I just think it's really nice because a lot of people don't take the time to do that in their day, and a lot of people don't care that much about other people.
I like how they all like make a decision by listening to each other's ideas and correcting each other's ideas.
Keep doing that if you want like the world to be a good place, and maybe that might encourage some kids when they grow up to be a teacher too.
Thank you for the amazing ideas and rules you've come up with, and I hope that you guys keep on having fun with your job and make very good decisions.
Gracias, Medford School Board.